Welcome to a platform where we debate on the top stories of the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, and other leagues with the best in the world of sports. You'll also get interviews with many athletes and media talents at several basketball events, including the WNBA and college basketball. My name is Rafiq Ulwazon, and this is Nothing But That Sports Talk.
Here, and then they turned it around to make the playoffs, and here they are, one win away from the finals. Just a year later, Courtney Williams with a chance for a 4-point play. Literally and figuratively. Carlton known for her three-point shooting, but has added defense to her arsenal. There's another block shot for the Lynx. Williams the life of any party. That time it worked. And the foul!
And some smaller guys as well, so I'm really excited about that finals matchup.
Get the party started in the Twin Cities. After a 7-year absence, Cheryl Reeves' Minnesota Lynx team is headed back to the finals.
Ionescu gets free and connects from deep, her fifth three of the day. Vandersloot kicks it out. Jones a three. You bet! The New York Liberty have knocked off the Las Vegas Aces. The Liberty are headed back to the WNBA Finals.
It's been decided as the New York Liberty will take on the Minnesota Lynx. As a welcome to this episode of Nothing But That Sports Talk. Rafiq Ulwazon alongside Travis Singleton from Sneaker Report. Welcome to the show for the first time.
How you doing? Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you as well, man. I see you've been doing a lot of interviews with the Minnesota Lynx, the T-Wolves, and pretty much all Minnesota basketball in general. So it's only right that I get you on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. I'm just trying to, make my own mark and pave my own way out here in Minnesota. It's new to me because I've been out here for a couple of years, but it does feel like home.
Yeah, I know. But why don't you talk a little bit about how Sneaker Report got started?
Yeah, man. I started Sneaker Reporter back in 2014, and it was just more so just me covering both of my passions. I love sneakers, and I always figured I could be a reporter that wore sneakers in the locker room as long as I wore casual clothing and still was business presentable. And that was 2014. Fast forward 10 years now, everybody's wearing sneakers in the locker room, which is kind of crazy. So I don't like to toot my own horn and say I'm a pioneer or nothing, but definitely feel like I was a part of that momentum that got everybody being comfortable in the locker room, where you can express yourself. And sneakers was a easy part for me to actually, just vibe with the players with. If I wore a pair of sneakers that they knew about, they'd be like, hey, where'd you get those from? And it started open dialogue, and I was able to start getting those one-on-one with players because sneakers was that's that opening conversation piece. So I was blessed and fortunate. I started in Boston with the Celtics, and then went to OKC with the Thunder, and then paved my way all the way over here to Minnesota with the Timberwolves and the Lynx. But I'm blessed and fortunate that a lot of people are seeing exactly that Sneaker Report is not just talking about sneakers. I'm just a reporter that's in there that wears sneakers. So at the end of the day, I just like to create my own niche and wanted to create my own path, man, and here we are.
That's what I'm talking about. And you got to do those interviews. I'm proud of you for as far as you've gone into covering basketball. Appreciate
that, man. That means a lot, yeah. Been grinding since, 2009, 2010, man. And unfortunate circumstances had me start sneakerreporter.com. But, blessed to be where I'm at, man, and been covering professional sports for a long time, man. If you would have told me 10, 15 years ago I'd be doing this, man, I wouldn't have believed you. But here we are now, about to cover my first WNBA Finals, man. That's a blessing. I just want to be able to, set that tone for a lot of the youth that are coming up behind us that really want to, get into this craft. They feel like all the time you just got to play a sport. I'm not playing the sport, but I'm still there at the arenas with the players. So at the end of the day, there's different avenues to get to where you want to be.
Yes, there is. And even though I know you're just saying you're not just talking sneakers, but when you interview players, do you at least ask questions related to sneaker culture?
Not all the time. I try to really just go in there and talk about the game and stuff like that. Now, like media days and stuff like media day last week, I talked to Anthony Edwards about, his Adidas AE1s. So stuff like that. I think media day and just when you have those one-on-one opportunities, those are the times I try to create opportunity to talk about sneakers, talk about their brands, different things that they got going on, foundations. That's when I really try to take advantage of it. But if it's a game setting, I always want to talk about the game and respect, the other reporters that are in the room that got a job to do as well. Because at the end of the day, I mean, I could talk to a player about, stuff that's going on outside the game and culture all day. But at the end of the day, I do have a job to do when I'm in those arenas, and I want to make sure that I'm representing myself, my brand, and my family, and everybody that believes in me the right way.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. I mean, when you cover the WNBA, like you have to think about all they want to think about is the game right in front of them, not the possible games they're going to be playing later down the road or what they played in the past. And that's something that you learn when you're interviewing Minnesota Timberwolves or Minnesota Lynx players. I mean, speaking of Minnesota Lynx, I mentioned during their 7th WNBA Finals appearance, they won 4 championships in the 2010s. 2 of them against the Dream in 2011 and 13, and then the last 2 against the Los Angeles, the Indiana Fever and Los Angeles Sparks. So you see this Minnesota Lynx dynasty built in the 2010s. How good of a feeling is it to watch them be back in the finals again?
Man, it's so crazy because, like, back in that time, I was in Boston, so just watching the Lynx on TV, and just seeing how Maya Moore, she's one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player of all time. But just watching Maya Moore and Fouls and those ladies just really put in the work and build that culture, and then fast forward to come to Minnesota a couple years back and be able to cover them, cover that team. It's more than just an organization; it's a family. And that's one thing that I realized off the rip, like right away, because when these players are coming in, they got the former players coming in. Lindsay Whalen was at last night's game. Sylvia Fowles been at a couple of games. Maya Moore was there. They really treat this organization like a family. And last night, it felt like a passing of the torch. We had Lindsay Whalen. She was hugging Nafisha Collier after the game. I feel like it's a passing of the torch, and Kayla McBride and Nafisha Collier, Courtney Williams. These are the type of players that the Lynx build off of and actually build that foundation and that core with to be able to have that championship pedigree. So just to see what we did last year, the start was rough last year. It was real rough. And we didn't know what was going to happen. But the way they finished, obviously they didn't get to their goal last year, losing to the Sun. But fast forward to this year, last night beating the Sun and finally going to the WNBA Finals. I mean, the sky's the limit for this organization, and I'm just proud that I'm able to cover them on a nightly basis and get to know, Cheryl Reeve and Nafisha Collier, Kayla McBride, like, all these ladies that are really making an impact and an imprint, in the W.
Speaking of making impact, Nafisha Collier is not just impacting the WNBA, but she's also going to be involved with the start of the Unrivaled Basketball League coming up later this year. Like, when you see, what's the inspiration behind Nafisha Collier's involvement with basketball on and off the court?
Man, the way she carries herself, I think it just speaks volumes. One of the most humble superstars you'll ever see. She doesn't say me. She's not saying look at me. She don't need the attention. She's willing to do the dirty work on and off the court to make sure that the people that support her and actually believe in her, she's making sure that she's putting that right back to them. She want to make sure that she's taking care of the people that take care of her. And she's a willing superstar. Doesn't mind passing. Doesn't mind just really putting the team first. And that's the same thing with her and Breonna Stewart with the Unrivaled. Putting the W, but also putting the people that are coming into the W, like the Paige Beckers and stuff, into a position that they can be successful when they don't have to always go overseas now. And this opportunity is going to create a lot of revenue, but at the same time, it's going to create a platform where they're able to tell their story without the W, but then it's going to also increase the W because a lot of people are really waiting to see what, this league is going to look like.
Yeah, yes, definitely. I mean, let's not forget next season you're going to add two different teams that spend 2 seasons.
Yep.
This sort of, excuse me, with the Golden State Valkyrie and then the Toronto unnamed WNBA team. That the WNBA is just going to continue growing from that point.
It's going to continue growing. It's going to continue growing, and the crazy thing is, I mean, you know, the Caitlin Clarks, the Angel Reeses, you know, the Paige Beckers, the Juju Watkins, like the league, we're gonna be in good hands for a long time, you know, and I feel like the women are just getting started, you know, and I was telling somebody yesterday, I was like, you know, there's no reason why the W shouldn't be getting as much eyes as the NBA. I feel like it's just as entertaining, but a lot of people are, you know, they're showing up late to the party. But at the end of the day, with the expansion teams, I mean, the growth is just going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to go. And as the players get better and as the game evolves a lot more, you know, there's nothing but sky's the limit for the WNBA. And Caitlin Clark, man, her coming in and creating that platform and just her presence, you know, brought a big boost to the W. But there's so much talent that's already in the W with Asia Wilson, you know, Nafisha Collier, you know, Sabrina Nescu. There's so many already players that are established, but when the new talent comes in, that's when those expansion teams continue to grow, and that's where you get more teams in different states. And I'm excited to see what's coming soon.
Yeah, I'm excited indeed. And you know what? Right now, the only question is, as somebody that covers the Minnesota Lynx closely, how confident you that it pains me to say this as a New York Liberty fan. I'm confident you that they could win their 5th championship in 2024.
Yeah, man. I'm confident in them. I think I've already seen a sample size with the Commissioner's Cup. You know, so for me, this whole season they played really well against the Liberty. So it's all about just focusing on themselves. Don't worry about the Liberty. Focus on doing what you're going to do, the intangibles, making sure that you're not turning the ball over, rebounding. And if Nafisha's coming with it the way that she's been coming since the Olympic break, I don't see nobody getting in their way. You know, it doesn't matter. Now, I think John Quell is going to be a nice little mismatch, you know, so we got to make sure that we take care of that. But I think the way that they've been playing, they're clicking on all cylinders. They got the chemistry. There's a lot of the ball movement's just been ridiculous. It's been really amazing to see. And the way that they're playing defensively, we got so many deflections. That's not even on the stat sheet. Those deflections start a lot of their fast breaks in the transition points. So I'm really surprised that a lot of people kind of slept on the Lynx this year. But this run that they're making right now and the way that Nafisha's playing is going to wake a lot of people up.
Yeah, if anything, the Minnesota Lynx will play ahead of schedule because let's not forget a year ago, they were the 7th seed getting bounced by the same Connecticut Sun team.
Yep. Exactly.
And they could have pulled off the same magic last year, but they just didn't have the pieces. But right now, you added Courtney Williams and Letitia Heineman on the roster. You talk about one of the best benches and the best 3-point shooting in the WNBA. Which leads us with one question like which out of the Minnesota Lynx and New York Liberty, which team has a better bench?
That's a good question. I'm always going to say the Lynx, and I'm not even going to say it like that, like always say the Lynx, but I just think the Lynx this year we're real deep. And the thing that's so crazy is we got Dorka, who was a starter last year. Mm-hmm. She's sitting on the bench. We got Diamond Miller. She was a starter. She's on the bench. So we got a lot of depth, and we got a lot of people that already have quality minutes as starters that are coming in that can still, you know, fill that void like they're actually still starting. I do like the depth they have. Letitia Hyman, man, her just coming in after Courtney, it's you still got a starter right there. She'll be starting on other teams, you know. So just seeing exactly what we have, the nucleus that we have, and the way that, you know, from top to bottom, everybody on that team is unselfish. Like I really like what their chances are. Obviously, you got a lot of good pieces with the Liberty, and they got a lot of depth as well. But I think when it comes to it, you know, I think it's just going to be the star power that's really going to will whatever team wins to the finish line.
Yeah, and speaking of star power, which team think has a better star power based on overall offense and defense? Sabrina Nescu, Jonquil Jones, and Brianna Stewart, or Nafisha Collier and or defeats of Collier and Bridget Currington and Kim.
Yeah, I was gonna say, honestly, I mean, if you look at it from this perspective, right? You got two gold Olympians, 2 gold medal Olympians on on the Liberty, and then you got one on the Lynx. But I'll tell you this though, the Lynx, they play together like an all-star team. And when you play like a team, no matter the star power, it doesn't matter. When you're clicking on all cylinders and when your team is hot at the right time, it doesn't matter. You know, so at the end of the day, Sabrina and Brianna, you can't deny their greatness. But I do know when it comes to the Lynx, when they play as a unit, you can't break that up. And when you're playing as good as they are right now, they're gonna be a tough out for anybody. Yes,
they are. And obviously, of course, you know, the Liberty, they were in the finals and losing to Aces last year. They eventually had lost versus Minnesota Lynx. Yes, you have Cheryl Reeve coaching, but this is a much different roster from the Maya Moore Soviet foul days in the 2010s. What do you think is going to play more of a factor? Liberty's experience or the overall better talent of the Minnesota Lynx?
I mean, talent and experience is always going to be right there. But I think that it's going to come down to coaching too, right? And Cheryl's already been there. You know, one thing that I learned about Cheryl this year is that she's willing to actually just let the players play. But I'm not saying that she didn't do it before, but she's letting the players play. But she's also got a lot of players that are coachable and teaching. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to her about Courtney Williams, and she was just like, Courtney's so coachable, but she didn't really know Courtney before she got to Minnesota. Once she got to Minnesota, it was like, man, she's really coachable. And when you build that culture, Coach Cheryl Reeve she already knows what the Minnesota Lynx culture is. So when you have players that are already set in stone with the culture and they're actually buying into it, I think that comes in really, really clutch when it comes to actually going into a series, because you built this from the ground up and you already know exactly what you want and what we're going to do. It's all about executing at that point. And I think Cheryl's really good when it comes to making adjustments at halftime. And I think coaching is going to really have something to do with it. Defensively, we know that the team's going to do what they got to do defensively. We know Nafisha is going to do her thing. But I think when Cheryl puts them in the position to be the best and successful in, that's when they're blowing teams out like they did last night with the Connecticut Sun. Like Cheryl, she's one of the best coaches I've seen, NBA or WNBA. It doesn't matter. Her mind is just so intelligent when it comes to her IQ with the game, just speaks volumes. And I think that sometimes when you have a leader like that, it can help you carry over when it comes to trying to win a championship.
Yes, it definitely can carry it indeed, because that's the type of mindset you need in order to bring a championship to your.
Yep. And she's been there already. You know, when you've been there, you know, they always say, you know, you got to act like you've been somewhere already. And some of these players haven't been to the promised land, but Cheryl has. But the way that her mindset is, they're already locked in like, hey, why not us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that why not us mentality. That's something Serena Nescu said a few years ago before, well, they lost to Chicago Sky in the first round. And look at how much they've grown ever since.
Yep.
But yeah, since you covered the Minnesota Lynx, how many games do you think they can finish off the Liberty in the WNBA Finals?
I think it'll be done in 4. I think it'll be done in 4. That's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. You're getting the exclusive because that's just off the rip, just my mindset. I think that we'll get one. I think we'll get one in New York. I don't think we'll get 2. I think we'll get one in New York, and then I think we'll get the 2 at home and wrap it up.
Oh, okay. I see. Because I'm confident that the New York Liberty can actually win this, but it's going to take 5 games because you know how tough the Minnesota Lynx can be. They may not have the star power. They may not have an Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, and Chelsea Gray that we had to put up with the last 2 seasons up until, of course, the semifinals this year. But they do have defeats of Collier, and they do have role players that have been to the finals before, and they're coached by Cheryl Reeve. It's going to take 5 games to defeat them. Trust me and believe when I got to Liberty winning this in 5. I wanted to get done in 4 with both cases of buckets to them getting a split in Minnesota, but I got this in 5 games.
Okay.
I'm going to take that gamble and go at least. It's going to take at least 4 games minimum, 5 games max.
Okay. Now, my question to you is, who's going to be the finals MVP? If you got the Liberty winning, who's going to be? Is going to be Stewie? Is going to be Sabrina?
I think it's going to be Sabrina Ionescu. Well, it's a tie between Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart. Brianna Stewart is due for redemption because if you remember last year, she only held like 9 or 10 points in game four against the Aces. The one where Cody Vansell missed that shot, but the redemption is real. It's time to fix for New York Liberty. You can get it done. I know I'm talking to a Minnesota reporter, but you got to hear this. New York Liberty, get the job done. Finish the story. We got this. New York, stand up.
Okay. See that? I feel like that's some hometown cooking over there that's talking. That's all. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. You gotta hype up your team. You've been covering them all year. You gotta hype Minnesota.
Look, I got you. I think Minnesota's gonna get the job done. It's gonna be 4 games. I believe in Nafisha. I believe in Kayla. I think they got a story as well. And they brought back Kayla right away. When she had a chance to, they signed her right back. And there's a story that needs to be told as well because Nafisha's been waiting since 2017. And you mean to tell me she's going to get her opportunity? I don't think she's going to take it lightly. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Made the best team win, man. Made the best.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Like I said, either way, and I'll take what Coach Cheryl Reed said last night. They're happy they're in the finals, but they're also not content. They're happy, but they also want to let people know, like, we're here for a reason.
Job's not done.
Yeah, it's not done. It's not done. So I'm looking forward to it. They just moved the Timberwolves game for the Lynx game. That's a big deal. So, it's time to make sure that we finish the job in Minnesota, man. I'm just blessed and fortunate, get to cover my first WNBA Finals, and just appreciative of the Lynx, the organization, for believing in me and my coverage, and just my reporting and what I'm trying to bring to the W. So people like you trailblazed and paved the way. I'm just trying to continue to make my own little niche and mark in the W, and sooner or later, it'll come true. But it was pretty cool this year having opposing teams coming up like, "Hey, Sneak Reporter, what's up?" And I was like, okay. Like, people are starting to recognize me in the W, and that's something that I've been wanting it to happen.
That's the same feeling I've had when I went to the WNBA Finals game for the finals last year, and the draft and USA training camp earlier this year. And everybody knew who I was. Everybody knew my name. I had to be on Zoom so many times. Even a friend I used to go to college with was like, "Oh, everybody knows Rafiq, man. It's crazy."
Yeah, that's the feeling. You know what I'm saying? So I knew it was going to be a tough transition because all of my following is all NBA. So when I got the WNBA opportunity, I was like, now I gotta shut out the NBA unless something crazy happens. Shut out the NBA and really give the W the respect and the coverage that it really deserves and the attention it deserves.
Yes, the WNBA is going to get all the attention going forward. And you know what? Since you're talking about something crazy happens, let's talk about a trade that happened, which also involves the New York, Minnesota. And it's called coming to New York City in a trade.
Yep.
And Dante DiVincenzo. So when you saw it happen, what went through your mind?
Man, when I saw it happen, I just was like, I can't believe this. Because at first, obviously they had the rumblings going. So, like, when it first initially was coming out, we didn't know what we were getting back. But just having Karl Anthony Towns leave, he's a staple in Minnesota. He made me feel comfortable when I got here. Just being able to be in conversations with him around some of the other players and stuff. Having like a player like Paul George, like, "Hey, Karl, look out for my boy Travis," stuff like that. Like, it just spoke volumes, and it's just one of those situations where I felt like being able to, be in Minnesota and see how the fans and everybody gravitated towards him. I thought that was a big deal, and he's gonna be missed from a personal standpoint and from a player standpoint. You can't replace the best big man shooting big man in the NBA history. You can't replace that. But he's a special talent, man, but a special person as well. And I would love for Carl to just know that, I appreciate him for making me feel welcome and making me feel like, Minnesota was home, and always gave me the time and opportunity when I wanted to talk to him, whether it be on or off the camera, it didn't matter. And that's something I definitely cherish. But, the Knicks are getting a great player, great human. Man, he's going to make y'all a lot better with the spacing. And I think that's something y'all missed. Y'all missed that 5. You missed somebody that can give, create some space, but be able to move around, not clog things up when Brunson's around. And, we got Randall and we got DiVincenzo, so I'm excited about that as well. I know what we're getting with Randall. We're getting an all-star. I know what we're getting with DiVincenzo, his shooting and his defense ability. So I'm ready to see what they can do this year.
Yeah, you guys have pretty good pieces too. I know we just exchanged players, but it's not because if you didn't get anything good out of it. I mean, Julius Randle's the reason you mix it back to playoff relevancy in the first place. And then Dante DiVincenzo, you saw what he did in the playoffs last year. On top on the card, you tell us carrying your Minnesota Timberwolves to the conference finals and to lose to the Dallas Mavericks in 5. But that's besides the point. That's the first time he's ever had in his NBA career. He's a skilled man can take it to the rack, he can shoot the 3-pointer, he can like score low post, and New York Knicks have been striving for that. Striving for somebody that Jalen Brunson can throw the ball down low to, while at least the Minnesota Timberwolves, keep saying Lynx, but the Minnesota Timberwolves, you're getting Julius Randle, who has some star time himself. He's been All-Star 3 times.
Yep.
He can shoot the ball. The only thing is he has to stop being a ball hog in a black hole.
Yeah, I think it just all comes down to I think Randall's at the point where he's like, I'm going to play off of, like, you're coming to Minnesota, you know that Anthony Edwards is the guy. You know what I'm saying? So you don't automatically go into a new change of scenery and just chuck up 20 shots. You know what I'm saying? You got to find the groove. You got to get the ball moving. You got to see what's working, how I can play off of you. So these preseason games are going to be really good to see, how the team's going to gel and how everything's going to work out. But, I'm appreciative of everything. Like I said, I'm appreciative of Cat and everything he's done for us. But, it's going to be a change, but I'm ready to see what happens. The only thing that right away that bothered me was the timing. I felt like right before training camp, that was the only thing that threw me off. I knew it was going to happen sooner or later. I would have just personally, obviously I'm not a GM, but I would have personally waited until trade deadline. If we're back on that trajectory for the finals again, I would have just kept the team together. Like, hey, we're running it back. And if we were stinking it up, if we were like 11 and, 23 by All-Star break, then you got to break it up. But, I'm not a GM. I'm not the owner. I'm going to always support what the Timberwolves do. And who knows, man? We might win this trade from a financial standpoint, and we might win it from a NBA championship standpoint. You never know. So all I know is that I'm rooting for Karl Anthony Towns. I'm not rooting for the Knicks because I'm a Celtics fan. But at the end of the day, with y'all being in my division, we're going to see y'all in the Eastern Conference Finals sooner or later.
Okay, yeah, we're going to see you indeed. And I know, you mentioned you're a Boston Celtics fan. How good it felt watching them win another championship. I mean, they're back to having the most NBA championships again.
Man, I'm going to tell you this much. Like, it was really cool seeing it. I left Boston originally, because I was like, hey, I don't see where the franchise is going. After we got rid of KG and everybody, it was kind of bleak. And I was like, took opportunity to leave to cover Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and players of that caliber. And I thought that I was going to probably cover a finals before then. I didn't know that the Celtics would get to an NBA finals before I did, and I left. But it was bittersweet because I wanted to be there and I wanted to be covering the finals at home, like in my backyard. But I was happy for a lot of the reporters that I grew up with and came into the league with back in 2010. So a lot of them were able to cover their first finals, and I kind of lived through them. But I really was hoping for that Timberwolves Celtics finals, man. I really wanted it badly, but it didn't happen. But man, it was just beautiful to get back on top. we don't like the Lakers. So we wanted to make sure we get back on top and get the most championships. But we got the Celtics got a team that's built to win championships moving forward if we keep the core between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So I like what we're doing, and I want to see Minnesota get to that level as well.
Yeah, but let's keep it real. You guys have the easiest championship run the Boston Celtics team could ever have compared to the.
Look, man. Everybody says we got the easy.
Listen.
Look,
I had the easiest run. You defeated Miami Heat, was depleted with injuries that Jimmy Butler went down during the play-in tournament. You defeated the Cavaliers, depleted with injuries. You sweep Indiana, depleted. Tyrese Halliburton got hurt, and then you defeated inexperienced Dallas Mavericks team. They had Kyrie Irving, but he played in the finals with the Cavaliers. We know his experience, but that Dallas roster has not been to the finals before. So, it didn't go any further than 5 games in all 4 series. So let's keep it a buck.
All right, okay. So I'm gonna say this to you, and this is the Boston. This is the Boston fan coming out. This is Travis. This is how I look at it. It could have been. It was easy, and I say that too. I was like, hey, people were hurt, but like I always tell people, if we run it back, I don't want to hear nobody's mouth. That's just where I'm at with it. We run it back, we win the championship again. I don't want to hear nothing.
I mean, when teams are giving it their all, you split with the Miami Heat. You had a rival with the Miami Heat during when it was Paul Pierce versus LeBron. For sure. Jimmy Butler is early 30s. He torched you guys. You know what if happened if Jimmy Butler had played all the games?
Hey, look. We want all the smoke this year. I'm not running from nobody. I tell everybody, I'm a Celtics fan, die hard. And, hey, just make sure you're healthy. That comes with conditioning. We can't control any injuries, but we can control that ass whooping that we can give them this year again. Because every team, hey, give us Milwaukee, Miami, it don't matter. Give us whoever you want. We ready to go.
Yeah, okay. But let me ask you this. As a reporter talking to a Celtics fan, which of the teams you fit for most? A healthy New York Knicks, a healthy Miami Heat, or a healthy Milwaukee Bucks?
A healthy Milwaukee Bucks. Right away. If I'm nervous about Giannis. If Giannis is healthy, he's a mismatch for our team. I don't know why. But when we play against him, it's always a matchup nightmare. And then you added a Dame Lillard, a knockdown shooter scorer. You still got Chris Middleton. Still got those other pieces there. You still got my man over there. What's his name? Oh, my goodness. It's going to bother me because I can see his face. Oh, my goodness. It's going to bother me right now. But they got Pat Connaughton. Pat Connaughton. They got some pieces over there. But the thing is, it's my man that comes, the sixth man. You know what I'm talking about.
Brook Lopez?
But Brook Lopez is good. The other one, my man that be hitting the jumpers. He was in Chicago originally.
Yeah, whatever it is, Milwaukee's got a good piece.
Okay. All right. We'll see what's up. It's going to bother me too because I see his face. He be wearing the headband and everything. You know, he got the jumper. Lanky black dude.
You talking about Patrick Beverly?
Nah. He's tall.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, Milwaukee is stacked. His name is not coming to me right now, but Milwaukee's stacked. And when it comes to the Celtics, I think that's the team that we got to worry about. And once they get that rhythm going, I think that they'll really be where they need to be.
Yeah, Chris Livingston.
No.
Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis. There you go. Thank you.
Oh, come on, man. I didn't even think I need to name that, but whatever.
Yeah, Bobby Portis. Now he's a sniper, man. That man, he shoot. He got a nice little smooth jumper, man. And when he plays against us, man, his game goes to another level. I don't know what it is, but yeah, man, that's just how it goes.
Yeah, but well, Boston, they're going to be a problem. It's good that you're Celtics fans this way. Well, let's just say we kick off the season against you guys this year, and I'm a Knicks fan, so
yeah. Hey, man, I'm looking forward to it, man. Hey, we got a little light trash talking we can do, cause you know, like I said, man, I love what the Knicks did. Obviously, adding Cat, that's huge, but at the same time, I love I love what my Celtics are doing too. We're going all in. Drew Holiday, Porzingis, we're showing that we're for real as well.
Yeah, I look forward to it. And now wrapping this episode, not to put the sports up. Thank you for stopping by, Travis Singleton. I look forward to seeing what you do with the WNBA and NBA.
I appreciate it, man. It's been an honor to just be on here with you. I've watched your trajectory and your growth over the years with the W, man. Keep it up. You're one of the main reasons why I was like, man, it looks like it's extremely fun just covering the W, man. So yes, I wanted to make sure that I got in here, man, because you've been trailblazing and paving the way, man. So I appreciate that, man.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate you as well. I mean, I'm glad I managed to pave the way for somebody.
Hey, man. Hey, trailblazers always make sure they trend set, and sometimes they might get left behind. But sooner or later, people do their research and they're like, oh, okay, there it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how it goes with the sports industry anyways, because years back, like I said, I was wearing sneakers. Now, all of a sudden in the locker room, it's all over the place. So sooner or later, there's going to be a lot of brothers just like us. You know what I'm saying? And then they're going to be, oh, wait a minute, it started way back then.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did. This is Rafi Cluzone with Nothing But That Sports Talk. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.